Good evening, and I thought I'd jump in at quali because it's raining, which was not expected, and everybody has been practicing on a dry track, so let's this will be exciting. Oops, don't do that though. Keep it in first. Oh, you'll get bumped back. And let's serious like out here. Might need to adjust the tyre pressures to make up for the cooler track.
Pit exit looks clear. Okay, Stevie, we've got 11 minutes to centre lap. Blue flag. Let's get some heat into these brakes.
These conditions are really going to leave us with a very, very topsy-turvy grid. Somebody's just coming through. Somebody else going through. Stopping. Coming. Coming. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's get out there. That wasn't worth waiting for, really. He went straight off. Right. Let's try and get some speed up.
Flag, mate. Left side. Clear left.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Getting lots of calls of yellow flags already. So, gone light on fuel. Got very cold tyres. It's raining. It's difficult. Tyre tracks there already telling the story. Somebody going straight off into the wall. This is going to be a real upside down grid with this situation. Weather was set to random, but I think the odds on rain were set pretty low. It was only like 5%. So this is really unlucky for us to have rain. Still got freezing cold tyres.
Flag is being waved.
But nearly at the end of
All right, Stevie.
the opening lap.
That's 10 minutes left. There's a white flag.
There must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
And for those of us who weren't with us last night for the social race, we've had an upgrade to crew chief, and that's a trip to the pits.
That's the blue flag.
Car just spun out then. Just completely spun out. Don't think it was Murray putting me off. Yeah, we've had an upgrade to crew chief, with some Murrayisms.
Just done a 133.58.
There's nothing better than Murray Walker. Right, I think number one objective here, with just 9 minutes on the clock left, is just get one time on the board, which might do us more good than you think.
Exit's clear. Push.
He gets away beautifully. A perfect pit stop.
Thanks, Murray. We're just coming out of the pits.
The blue flag is being waved.
I can't see anybody, so let's get going.
The leader has just done a 133.12.
Okay, 133 is something I can manage, but that was in the dry. So really got to do this proper first flying lap. Somebody's not made that corner because the cone's gone. There it is over there on the right. So let's get around this very tricky chicane. Lose a lot of time there in these conditions. Try and put the power down. As we saw on the first lap out,
There's a white flag.
you'll spin out quite easy. So we're having a bit of an off. Please don't cut me off. Thank you.
Left side. Clear left.
Okay. Oh, you see my skid marks from where I drifted straight off the track. Forgot to do something.
B26.
Right. Try and do it semi-clean lap. Not like that. Oh my god.
Please try to stay on the track.
This is not good. Set something off. Alright. Third time lucky.
Okay, Stevie, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Straight off on the green light. He's got a lot of work to do to gain back that lost time.
Blue flag.
There's loads of cars coming through.
There must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
Clear right.
It's really busy.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I think Hendricks wants to come through, so I think I'll let him. Just need a bit of space, really. My Lotto, Jesus, behind me. I'll just come out the pits as well.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Oh, right mix up behind me. Somebody was trying to do a lap, I think, and it's really been messed up.
We've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
There's only 5 minutes of quali left. I still haven't done a decent lap.
I think there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
I think the trick here to get a decent qualifying position is just do a lap. I think we're all having big troubles. God. Turn TC up.
E27.
Right. Oh, that's not good.
Okay, Stevie, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. Your brake temperatures are looking good.
That was easy to say. I'm going to try and take a steady lap now. And just get a time on the board. It won't be spectacular.
Sector 1 is 2.2 seconds.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate.
We could get away with that. Car was just not for stopping. Just hope the race isn't the same weather. Because the track is very green, there's no rubber down. Very slippy. All my carefully worked out tyre pressures are completely up the wall because my tyres are stone cold.
Sector 2 is 1.5.
And the reason
Compared with his previous
I'm
times,
struggling
I
to
can see
brake
that he's actually
is the pressures are
slower
way
there.
down on what we should be.
White flag.
So looking for an immensely long 1:39.
He's improving on his lap times.
Sector 3 is 2.3 seconds.
I don't have
that's
the
actually
mishaps. I think I
slower
would have
than
come
his
in
best
and
qualifying lap today.
maybe put on wets or even substantially up the tyre pressures. But I've got no grip. So I'm going a little bit faster this lap, but I've got to make massive inroads to really pull myself forward.
Sector 1 is 1.8.
Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
White flag, mate.
Something's happened. The yellow flags are out.
Well, we're improving, but not by much, barely a second.
minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes. Just 2 minutes left. 2 minutes to go.
Oh, not too bad. 1.8 seconds faster, but still a very slow time. Just got to P20.
Sector 3 is 1.3.
We're pretty much committed now.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate. There must be an accident. The yellow flags are out.
Your front brakes are getting a bit hot. White flag, mate. Car right. Clear right.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
The guy behind has just done a 137.36.
I think there was a tactical mistake there to... No, it's blown that.
Cut detected.
We're not going to have enough time to get around again, so we're finishing well down the field. Not a surprise there. It's very, very difficult to figure out what the hell to do now. I think the weather for the race is going to be key. And, well, you know, the only option is to go forward. Now that weather's really thrown me up. Yeah, difficult call. Should have really rammed up the tyre pressures. I just rolled out with what I had. So the race is on. Buttons, set free. Ooh. Okay, okay. Okay. So Voodoo's in pole with a 133, which is pretty... So, not a good start. But I didn't have a very good social race on here. I've not got very high hopes for this race, so I'm not going to be overly upset. I'll stop the races dry, really. A wet race would be a real nightmare. Somebody just came on Discord, and the usual tips was going to be put on 2 or 3 PSI. But at this stage, you'll be guessing, and you'll live with that for the whole race. So we'll see what the weather report is when it advances after quali's done. I'm right down the field. P22, P28, don't make much difference. You're a long way down. My experience, wait for the carnage at the start of the race. See if we can't end up maybe P14, 15. Inevitably, there's always carnage at the start of the race. So, see if we can't end up maybe P14, 15. But we'll see, eh? We will see. Just a caution on the briefing about people not being crazy on the first lap. Well, what I've really managed to do is lay down to everybody a false sense of security with my qualifying time there. They're all going to think I'm dreadful, which is, of course, partially true, but they're going to think I'm even more dreadful than normal, perhaps. Okay, we got rain. Rain to begin with, and then it'll dry up. So I think I'll go with my standard setup and just live with it. Yeah, we got rain just to begin with. And then within 5-10 minutes, it'll dry up. It's only now a long race. check. Tires are good. Put that to 5, for God's sake. Right. Just let. Pull the engine map down there. I just altered the car set up a little bit to deal with the weather. Turned up the traction control. Pulled down the engine map. So an extended briefing coming over Discord about people trying to be careful on lap 1, give room. Okay, driver on. So questions going around about whether the track's going to dry out. My experience, it normally will. Okay, we're away. Wait for the leaders to pull out. Fully loaded. 105 litres of fuel. Pulling away. Now, the problem we had last night in the social is the lap here is so short. There's really no time to get my tyres warmed up. So what I'm doing is I'm really working the brakes, accelerating hard and braking hard. Try and work the tyres. The brakes are getting warm. Brakes are cooking at the front a little bit. Wow, it takes a long time to get here when you're going slow. I'm starting to get a little bit of heat in these front tyres. The league moderators are desperately trying to tell everybody to be careful on the first few laps.
B22. Okay, Stevie, be ready.
That was the trickiest bit, the widget there telling us to line up. It seems to be miles back to catch up with everybody. It happened again. Taylor's jumped to the spot, really.
It's go, go, go! It's
Thank you,
a
Murray.
great start. Straight down towards turn 1 they come.
Car left, still there, clear left.
There you go, there's your
On
bump.
your left. He's still there. White flag. He's still there. Clear left. Left
Right.
side. He's still there. Clear left.
Craven
Starts
Chuck
over.
there.
Now find your groove.
Very interested in making up a space. Kind of forgot, I think, about the brief about go easy.
Third place.
Just take some very unusual rides, Kravenchuk. Kravchuk? I'll get it right one day. Oh, it's gone into the eye. Maybe he's got a drive through or something. Well, that helped.
No more rain. The gap behind is now 0.8.
Well, there you go. That rain lasted barely one lap. It's definitely the right call to not worry about compromising setup for the weather. A big pack of cars in front of me now. It's only ended in tears. Careful of Taylor. Taylor was in the community race last night, but he was having quite a number of offs. He's already driven through me at the start to make up a cheeky place. I do think if I put him under pressure, he might well make a mistake. Somebody's made a big mistake there on the chicane, went right across the dust. Oh, Maloto's had a spin as a consequence. Sabalina. Yeah, I think I had a few close calls the last race with Sabalina. Oh, bit of lag for Taylor. Suddenly his car just went completely sideways across the track. Yeah. Somebody just on Discord, I think they made a serious miscalculation on the weather and put the wrong tyres on.
Place.
A bit of a slide there, that cost me a little bit of time. Okay, I think I've got to make inroads into these two. I think I've got more time faster than they are, I think. Although there's not much evidence of that at the moment. Taylor's too hesitant there on that chicane. Although it was brave words from me. I have a number of offs I've had on that chicane. And the cone's gone from the chicane, which is a shame because it's helpful. I was never going to survive.
Incident in the hairpin. There's a white flag.
I think there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
Damn. Whoa, what was that? I was right on the outside of the curve, so I can't see anybody managed to hit me.
There's a white flag.
That's really put me at the back of the field, that has now. Very questionable bit of driving there. I don't
There's an incident in turn 1.
So
Looks
somebody
like
managed to
it's
hit me
Baron.
when I'm right on the outside of the bend. Well,
There's a car exit in the pits, heads up.
there's really only one way forward from here.
B26.
I'll have to look at the replay after a race and see what happened. Of course, the real answer is I shouldn't have been out there. And then you could look objectively and say Taylor should not have been in front of me. Looks like Dommy's got some lag problems as well. His car just vanished and reappeared then.
The gap to Morrison in front is now 0.5.
Yeah.
The car in front is Morrison.
Well, that wasn't good. Went so deep. Went out way too wide on the corner. Now, we still have quite a few cars just ahead of us, so at the moment not all is lost.
Double chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. B24.
We're not completely out of touch. Last night I ended up... Morrison's taking some very bad lines there.
White flag, mate. There's an incident in turn 2.
There we go, make sure they don't come back across us.
There's an incident in the second
Oh,
chicane.
bollocks. Damn it. Caught the curb then.
There's an incident in Terlemenbocht. We think it might be Baron.
Oh, I did not need that.
White flag.
Yeah, I caught the curb on the chicane, and it speared me into the wall.
White flag.
But it looks like everybody's having a lot of problems on the race tonight. A lot of people having offs. So this is looking more like a survival evening. Whereas if you can try and keep it together, you'll end up in a decent place just from not having a big crash. I've already had one close call with the wall.
Nail every corner. Let's take whatever chances we can. P21.
That wasn't very good, not very close to the apex. The track's really not rubbered in much. I don't know if it's a factor because it was raining for quali and the game has been quite realistic and hasn't taken any rubber down. So we've got a very green track for the race. It's very tricky. Okay, Morrison's now 4 seconds away.
The gap behind is now 2.1.
Three and a half. So I think I'm closing in quite quickly with a clear track in front of me. He was tricky to get past though when I was behind him. And when you do get this sequence of corners right, it does feel quite good, but getting them right is a bit of hit and miss for me at the moment.
There's an incident in Ixbocht.
There must be an accident. The yellow flag.
There's another incident right in front of me, I think. Here we go.
The hairpin.
So, yes, I think it's people around me. We're all really struggling with this track. So you having a lot of spins, a lot of offs. very tricky. It's the curbs really throw your car off. I think I'm getting more into the groove of it now. And the track really will actually rubber up as the race goes on, so it will get easier.
The gap to Morrison ahead is increasing. It's now 4.2 seconds.
Really? I think he's holding steady actually. It's very slightly increased. I thought I was closing in on him. Careful of that. Nearly lost the rear end then on the curbs. It's time to start focusing on lap times now. We're a long way down the field. We're not in a great place.
Okay, let's have a look at the qualifying time so far.
1.5 seconds.
Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best intermediate.
Murray there telling me I'm not going quick enough. You must listen to Murray. He knows what he's talking about. I think Morrison really is pulling away now. So I need to really knuckle down. That's all he ever seems to say in this game. The lap times are about level, not really improving. We've still got 86 litres of fuel on board.
All right, Stevie, the next car is Taylor.
That wasn't good. I keep losing momentum there. Those cars behind me, I think, are closing in. So Taylor did a 40. I did a 34.
34.37.
That means it should be right up his backside. Doesn't make any sense. Definitely closing on this driver in front. Just 2.2 seconds now.
You're reeling Taylor in. The gap is now 2.1. He's slow into the first chicane.
I think it's Morrison who who gave us the tap when I was in a position on the track where I didn't think I would get a tap.
Just done a 131.95.
Leader's going through with 31s. I'm getting like 34s. Not in love with this track. Very difficult for me in this car. I think something like the BMW or the Nissan GTR really rides the bumps a lot better. The curbs a lot better. Although I'll bet you neither of those types of cars is actually winning. This is a better lap, it's an improvement.
That's your quickest lap in this session. Yellow flag. There's an incident in turn 1. It looks like Barron.
Barron, I saw him off and disappeared, so he's recovered back to the pits, which is cost you a lot of time. Baron must be having a bit of a mare because I've not made any places up for that either from the looks of things. Still in P20. So we're finally starting to really close in on Taylor, but Maloto's coming back at us as well from behind. Maloto's flying up behind us.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Flying up so fast behind us, he nearly ran the back of us at the hairpin there. What's he on? It's not for position, he's in P21. I know he's normally quite handy.
Your lap time was at 1:33, went 9.1.
Oh, bad. Back corner, too much curbs.
Right side.
Maloto's up the inside, it'd be dangerous to try and fight him too
Hold
much.
your line.
Clear on the right.
Right side's clear.
He's coming really fast, it won't be worth fighting Maloto, might as well try and get a toe off him. Or maybe even try and understand his lines. Try and get some of that speed. Bit braver then through that chicane. I was trying to put the power down and you'll lose the car.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
So let Maloto through, put me through into P21, but I think it's more helpful for him to be in front. That was difficult. Kind of slid then, mid-corner. Had to try and save it. Oh, God, he's moving around a lot. Somebody's having a little tantrum there on Discord. Took that one a bit better. Still 0.4 of a second down.
Okay, Stevie.
His lap time is quicker than the car he's chasing.
0.8.
Murray's telling me I'm catching him up. Lots of people grumbling on Discord. I think there's going to be words from the league coordinators. They've already asked people to show up. Morrison's in front of us. I think he was the guy who clipped us. Must have had a bit of a slip. Need to stay tight on these three. There's a good possibility there'll be some sort of coming together. Got 40 minutes race time, so about 10 minutes to the pit window opens.
Losing time to the car in front.
3:21. There's an incident in turn 3.
Incident just ahead of us as well. Oh, Malotto had a bit of a moment in the chicane, went a bit wide. And
Car left,
Taylor's
clear
spun
left.
out.
Incident in Turleman box. It looks like Taylor.
Yep, Taylor spun out of the chicane. And that's the sort of thing I need. If I can avoid that, I might get a few more places, but I'm not going to be very high up looking at this.
The track temp's increasing. It's now 21 Celsius.
Most of the rest of the drivers in front appear to be pretty consistently staying on the track. That was terrible. Lost 1.8 seconds there. I was really close behind Malotto, and now he's quite a distance away.
P19.
You know something I've forgotten? I knew I would. Turn TC down. I put it on engine map 8 instead of engine map 1. No wonder everybody's pulling away from me.
The guy in front is Morrison.
Malotto got past Morrison while I was busy remembering I should have been remapping me the engine. And I need to check who's behind me. It's Taylor. So, with respect to Taylor, I need to be careful. I know he's had a few offs. I don't want him to collect me when he's having one. Okay, I think the pit stops are starting now because we've suddenly moved up to P17
P17.
with no real good reason to be at P17. So people are pitting early. And before I pit, I need to remember to check. Did get clipped, which means the car will have damage. And I don't want to really repair that damage. I'm not really feeling I'm affected much handling-wise. And it'll cost me an extra 2.
Leader is pitting now.
Whoa, that's never made it.
Something's happened. The yellow flags are out.
There's an incident in Turleman box. There's a white flag.
Somebody had a big off. Thank you, Vax, for not coming across me. And Morrison's had an off as well, but I think that's just going to cost him time.
Okay, Stevie, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up.
Gaining on the driver ahead.
P16.
Oh my god. 4 minutes to my planned pit window starts. Did check the damage, very light, just a few seconds worth of repairs. I think I'll leave it. Taylor's trying to close up on it. He's not going to try to undercut here. He is. He tried it and then backed out of it, thank God. Hopefully that sort of half-hearted attempt will have cost him a bit of time. Well, that wasn't a particularly good lap by me.
14.
Just see Taylor behind me taking some slightly erratic lines around the corner, which will cost him time, but that was bad by me. Long way off the apex. Car didn't feel like he wanted to grip. Pressures look good.
Hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
Still only got 2 more laps really before my pit stop. Somebody ahead of us is going to drive through, which is what I've got to avoid. If few incidents of sliding through the chicanes, you really can't afford that if you're going to get a drive through. It'll really destroy your race.
Your front brakes are pretty hot now.
That's more like it for this set of corners. Still feels like the front end doesn't want to grip though. I just took them reasonably well and really opened up like a 1 second gap straight away.
In first place.
The gap to Morrison ahead is now
Oh, wow, that's
3.6
bad.
seconds. Toff is now in the lead.
Again, just slid completely through that first chicane. One more lap after this, I think, then we'll pit. Enjoying my moment, heady moment, being all the way up to P13 because everybody else is pitted around us. It would be more beneficial if Taylor had pitted there. You've got to brake in a straight line to go in the pits there, and it's quite dangerous if if Taylor's too close behind us, he could well take us out.
P12.
Came very close last night in the social race. What is he doing? That was never going to work. And Taylor sort of half-heartedly threw it up the inside, but came at an angle where he'd never get round the corner. And thankfully, under pressure, I took the chicane pretty well. Amazing, when them cones gone, it really is a struggle to take that chicane cleanly.
Okay, Stevie, you're halfway home. Your fuel is fine.
Right, I'm going to pit this time round. I think we got enough of a gap behind us that we can pit in safely. Made it all the way up to P10 before the pit stop. Start braking. There we go. Around the corner. And there. Start braking when you use that.
Just enter the pit lane to make a stop.
When we exit the pits, we should be in P20, right in front of
Great.
P21.
So we're not really we're going all the way back down to P20 after the pit stops. But I didn't think I was ever going to make an undercut. That wasn't even the best pit stop, I think. I don't think I was bang on these marks. Oh, not bad. Grab up a quick drink. Just watching my stream up above my head. It's a bit jittery. I'll have to try and maybe alter the settings. Or maybe it's because the internet's really busy. It looks juddery and very grainy. Not good. Okay. Let's go. Morphy appears to be out of the race there. He's not moved. How's that happened? How's he going in front of us?
Track's clear. Push, push, push.
Absolute clockwork precision from the pit crew.
That's the blues. He'll have to pull over now.
Your brake temperatures are fine.
We're in P19, so we actually made up a place compared to what the computer told us.
Morrison is pitting from P11. Expect him to come out a bit behind you.
Inger's behind me. Inger's usually quite nippy. Slovenia's got a stop and go penalty. And is a lap down, so should get out of the way. However, I don't think he will. So Inger's behind me for position now. But I do know that he's back here because he got a starting penalty from start line at the start of the race incident on the last race. So he's probably not wanting to get another penalty because he incurs something. If you get a drive through at the next race at Spa, it takes like a lifetime to get through the pits. For some reason they put a pit lane at Spa that's about 10 miles long.
There's an incident in turn 1.
Okay, P18 is
P19.
I think the pit stops are still like settling out, so I think we're going to do perhaps okay here. We might move up a few places.
Taylor is pitting from P8. It looks like he'll come out just behind you.
Yeah, just the crew chief just announced that Taylor's pitting. And if he does come out behind us, that's pretty good, because I think Taylor was in front of us. Far enough away that I was really struggling to catch him, so I am practicing pit stop discipline during the practice sessions, because you have to manually brake the car, get it down to 50 kilometers an hour at the right line, at the pit stop line. The pit limiter I've got on automatic, but you've still got to get the car stopped. And the way to do that is to
Your front brakes are getting pretty hot.
practice your braking spot. Which in the case of this track I found was where the curb is just... When I'm staying on track I use that curb as my turning in point, but when you go to the pits I use that as the braking point to make that first corner. And do a bit of a Michael Schumacher into the pits and really try and get in there as fast as possible.
17th place.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Oh, that was a bit slow. I think Maloto's done quite well. I think he's made up a few places. That was rubbish as well. Turning far too early. Well, I kind of semi-predicted at the start of the race, but I might be in P14 after the carnage, and I wasn't. But thanks to, I think, nothing more than a good pit stop. But that terrible chicane. We've got P16. Now, I'm not sure we'll move any further forward, and we might well go backwards.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Incident in the hairpin.
Something's happening in the hairpin, but probably just a bit too far away to capitalise on anything. It sounded like my teammate over Discord, so this is the hairpin. There's nobody here now. Did think I was too far away. I'm okay at this track, but I'm just too slow in some corners. I lost lots of time there.
16th place.
So I think it's usually because I can take these corners quite well, consistently. I get a little bit of a gap on the guys behind me. There's no more grumbling on Discord. This is a decent lap. We're 0.25 ahead of our best.
Stevie, you've got half your fuel left.
Sounds like Discord. There's going to be a few complaints going into the stewards after this race. Lots of grumbling. Ooh, that was a bit of a slide. Still improving though. Just. Am I? Barely a tenth. Barely a tenth of a second improvement.
15th place.
21 minutes of race time left. There's 5 seconds to the car in front, and I think that's holding pretty steady. Ooh, bit of a slide, come on. Oh, lost a lot of momentum then. Luckily, it's only cost me like 0.2 of a second on my best lap time. Ooh. I think I got
Brake temps are good.
tyres a bit warm or something though, because the car's not responding well. Nearly half a second down now from 2 slides. Costello did a 32 there, and I'm doing way outside that. I did a 33.5.
Minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left.
He's closing the gap in front.
5.9 seconds.
Well, crew chief says I'm closing in a little bit. This is an improvement this lap time so far, but Every time I gain half a second, I think the next lap I lose half a second.
Incident in the second chicane. We think it might be Taylor.
Oh. That's behind me.
The lead car's pitting.
I just announced that the leader's pitting very late in the race, which is 20 minutes to go. I don't think it's going to make much difference to me. Must be virtually a lap ahead.
You've just done a 1:32.72. Sector 3 is 1.1 seconds.
Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
Oh, Murray, don't say it to me. Murray's telling me I'm a little bit slow. I need to speed up. God, did a good lap last
Temperature's
time.
rising. It's now 23 Celsius.
The track's warming up. Weather's breaking out. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about there with Murray, because that was a PB that last lap. Got a 1:32.7 on there. Oh, oh.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Oh, we got a warning already now for track limits, so we need to be careful. We're going to drive through, it's all over. Not the P15 are we at the moment? Yeah, P15. Not exactly podium. But if we're reaching the point where we're starting to get cautions, other drivers in front might do as well if they're a little bit less cautious. They might get a penalty, and yeah, I think Murphy's pulled out.
That was a 1:33.19.
And somebody in front, oh, that was a bit bad. Somebody in front gets a penalty. Next thing you know, we've got an opportunity to really capitalise.
The gap in front is now 5.0 seconds.
Okay, we got Sabalina again in front of us again. I think he's had at least one drive-through penalty, I think, in the race. So he's down a lap at least. He's being blue. He will be blue flagged. I think he's got reasonable speed though. It's whether he decides to sort of fight, which he shouldn't do. Because I've got Domi in front. I think Costello got past Domi 64. Well, bad, too much speed there. Got away with it.
I think there's some kind of
Well, that
incident. I can
kind
see
of
yellow flags.
helped in a bad way. Sabalina span. I'm still in
Just done
P15.
a 1:33.38.
Don't think I've got the speed to catch these cars in front. It looks like I'm able to sort of peg them.
Just done a 1:30.77.
We've got the leader now possibly closing in on me because I've only just crossed the start-finish line, and crew chief's announcing there. Yeah, I can see his carry. He's still a good 10 seconds away. I'll do carry a lot of good on the Drivers' Championship. I think it's quite a long way up. My results have been too erratic. Last
All right,
race
Stevie, 15 minutes left. That's
was
15
P7,
minutes.
brilliant for me. This one, well, if I get P15, I'll probably do well. Hang on to this another 15 minutes.
P15.
I don't know what's going on with Inga. He's a pretty quick driver. But he has dropped back a little bit. Domi's, I think, slowly pulling away by about a second. So, not the way to make up places. The only way I'm going to really get anything is if somebody has an off or a penalty. But that is part of it, is remaining clean on the track.
There's an incident in turn 2.
Turn 2 is just ahead of me. I think wherever it is will be over before I get there. Not even any signs of any dust in the air. 7 seconds now. Domi just going just over the hill in front of me there.
Your front brakes are getting a bit hot.
I'm getting a bit hot too, crew chief. Only 30 minutes to go. I find this track very difficult in this car. Don't know why it shouldn't be.
Incident in turn 1. Okay, Stevie, your lap times are pretty consistent. That was 1:33.70.
Now this is a bit of a sloppy lap, losing time already. Well, I think my attention's starting to waver because I know we're really sort of holding place. Carry's starting to close in. We need to get to a good place to let him through. Boy, be very careful there. Any more of that and I'll get a drive through. Carry's 2.6 seconds away now. It's Kravenchuk ahead of us having a complete mare of a race. I don't know what he's doing, he's in the middle of a track. I don't know what that was at all. That did cost me time. Saw Maloto in the pits as well. Maybe he's had a bit of a disaster and called it a day. Eight seconds now to Domi. I'm definitely not going to be moving up. Inga's stayed solid at 6 seconds behind. So I have to keep pushing. Hold my times. Carry's now 1.3 seconds away. Now you don't want to be trying to get past during this sequence at corners. He's got Voodoo behind him, Carry.
That's a blue flag.
You've got 10 minutes left, 10 minutes to go.
And just to prove it's definitely not the car, it's me. Come on, Carry, move it, move it, move it, move it.
On your right, clear right.
Gave too much to carry there. I think picked up some marbles and slid on that corner. Soon pick it up.
Heavy on the brakes through that part of the
Oh,
course.
got trouble.
X-boxed.
Nins is now closing up. It's Carrie's teammate. Bit of a difference though. Nins is in P16, but so that will be for position against me. So I need to be. Nins usually likes to. He was pretty quick on the community race last night. I think our times are very similar. So I've really got to put and push 9 more minutes. But it's only 6 seconds to Nins. He's past Inga. Well, that was close. That was very close on the chicane there. The car caught the curves badly and launched forward. Voodoo's closing in fast, so is Nins. I'm not sure I'll be able to keep Nins at bay. Not with terrible corners like that, I won't.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
There's an incident in turn 2. You've just done a 134.17.
There's an incident just ahead of it, but again, I think I'll be too late to take advantage of it, if possible. Sometimes though, I'm not sure if somebody's even just put a tyre just on the dirt. See Voodoo behind me now is 1.2 seconds, but Nins is right behind him.
Blue flag.
Come on, come on. I think I've left the door wide open for Nins here, really, by pulling over that much for Voodoo. But I would have been right in his way in all these corners.
Air temps rising. It's now 19 Celsius.
Well, a full 6 minutes to go, which is probably 6 laps, 5 or 6 laps. And the rate at which Nins caught us up, I very much doubt I'm going to be able to keep him behind us. He's already within 0.6 of a second.
Your last lap time was at 135.19.
It's probably going to get me on this chicane here because I'm usually a bit hesitant.
Car left. Clear left.
Yeah, looked like he wanted to take a lot more speed than me through the chicane there, but there's only one line. His best option is on one of these long straights leading into a big turn. Especially when I slide like that, goes loads of speed.
Clear on the right.
Right side's clear. Car
Now that's a bit naughty,
clear left.
Nins.
Car left.
The blue flag is being waved.
Hold your line. Clear left. That's 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Okay, Stevie. Don't think about the lap times. Just hit each and every apex. P16.
wanted to let Toff through there, so that really... I won't be able to fight Nins. I won't be able to fight Nins anyway, I don't think. Need to concentrate on keeping Inga behind me. So P16 is pretty poor. But I think I knew after last night's community race where I really struggled. I knew I wasn't going to get a big result here. So I was a pittance of points for P16. Now Inga's just 4.9 seconds away. And we got 3 minutes to go, so focus. P16's pretty poor, P17's even worse. Yeah.
The guy ahead has just done a 1:30.77.
We've got 2 more laps, I think. Just looking up at my stream now, I hope it doesn't look that good, that bad for everybody. Super grainy, really jerky. Oh, that's not good. At the moment, if we're watching this back a long time in the future, it's COVID-19, it's coronavirus time, and everybody in the world is being confined to the home, so the internet is getting absolutely hammered. So I'm reluctant to start changing settings in case it's just the fact that the internet's really busy is the reason why the quality has just dropped like a stone on my stream. But that's okay, because I'm not sure I've got many watchers.
2 minutes to
What I
go,
can
2
do
minutes.
is I can, I've recorded this as well, and I can upload the recording, which should be 1080p. And a lot smoother.
That last lap was a 1:33.59.
Okay, 1 minute 31 to go. Looks like I might have 2 laps. It's not set the leaders on the last lap yet. This is a shame. Enough fuel for 6 laps, so plenty of fuel. I'm finally starting to get into my groove with my laps, I think. Now the weight of the car's gone right down.
All right, Stevie, 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
For very important reasons, I want to keep a driver called Sog behind me. So I really need to keep pushing. He's just coming within sight. Got 1 more lap. Come on, push, push, push.
Just done a 1:30.56.
Looks like it's Carrier's race this week.
The guy ahead's last lap time is a 1:30.55.
Everybody's going a lot faster than I am. I'm still only doing 1:33s. Okay, race clock's down to 0. This should be the last lap. I would have to do 2 more laps. That would be horrific.
There's an incident in the first chicane.
I think there's some kind of incident. I can see yellow flags.
I don't believe it.
White flag, mate.
This in theory could be for position, but I think this takes me back to last week, where Domi, I'm pretty sure it was, could have been Domi, was on the
Left side. Still there. Hold your line. Clear left.
was on the grass. I bloody let Sorg through, and pulled right across the track to make sure I couldn't get in front of him. Pretty much done the same there. Had a big accident on the last lap. Came within seconds of getting him, but he really he filled the track up. And then a leading car came
Top
through,
leader has gone off in turn 1.
so I couldn't get past. So P16,
16.
bit
Okay,
shit.
it's over. Good drive.
There you go. No, I wasn't good on that track. A few incidents. I was held up a bit by Naughty Taylor, who ghosted through me at the start and held on to the place. And then when Taylor was in front of me holding me up, I got caught by another car. I don't think that cost me major time, no. Never going to go anywhere in this race. Well, the next round is Spa. Not a track, I think, that suits this car. Spa's a very quick, open track, lots of straights.
The track temperature is increasing. It's now 25 Celsius.
And this car really seems to suit tight, twisty tracks. Not like this one, though.
There's a big mess in turn 1.
I think Ninja said something about his tap.
Incident in turn 2. Look out for the pit speed limit.
That's Stephen Bezic. That's okay, I lived. Somebody on Discord then was just apologising. So that's that for this race, and we will see you at Spa, and we'll try with the practice, and we'll see, hopefully, we can improve our times. See you next time, folks. Bye.